Hi everyone, I'm Ivan Nardini. I'm a developer advocate at Google Cloud, working mainly on Vertex AI, and I'm super excited today to demo you some of the key components of the agent builder that we have on Vertex AI. So we are gonna cover ADK, we are gonna cover how ADK can be integrated with MCP, and by the end of this demo, we are gonna take our agent that we are going to develop locally and deploy it on cloud. So without further ado, let's get started. So I see you've already talked about all the components of the agent builder. And the first thing that I want to show you is how you can simply build an agent using ADK. Now, to be completely honest, this demo, it's a demo that I already used in another event that we had with Anthropic. But it's a good opportunity for me to show you how simple it is to not only build an agent with ADK, but also switch from one model to another thanks to the great integration that the ADK implemented with several foundation model. In fact, the only thing that you need to do in this case, in order to switch from a Claude model, an Anthropic model, so Claude, to Gemini, is simply changing the name of the model that you pass in the LLM agent class. So the LLM agent class is essentially an abstraction that will allow you to define a very simple agent. You need to pass the name, you need to pass the model that you want to use, and then you have the set of instruction that essentially tells what you expect the agent is going to do. And also the other important thing is having a description, because it's not going to be in this case, but when you're going to build multi-agent system, the description is something that ADK will use to identify the agent when some action needs to be taken in a multi-agent system. So this is all you need to do in order to build a very simple agent. And in this case, we are not enabling the agent to using tool. So it's a very, plain vanilla example just to show you how simple it is to build the agent with ADK. So once you write these few line of code to build the agent, ADK has a set of powerful features that will allow you to evaluate and test the agent. In this case, we're going to use one of them to test the agent. And in particular, ADK has this component which is called ADK Web, which is a nice web UI that you can run locally, that you can spin up locally in order to start interacting with your agent, testing it, evaluating it in a way that you can keep improving the agent while you are prototyping. So in order to use this tool, you just need to type ADK Web, and in few seconds it will create this. It will spin up this local server that contains the web app. So here is how the web app look like. Some of the agent that we are going to test today, but the one that we just define is the simple agent. So once you can select the agent, the web UI will automatically create a session, which is just a concept that represent the conversation that we are going to have with the agent. So in the session, there will be stored all the information that we are going to share with the agent. So all the turn so the query and the response that we have while we are going to interact with the agent. So let's test our agent and let's see if it's up and running. Let's just task hello. So as you can see, the agent respond, hello, I'm a social media assistant, I can do XYZ. So in fact, in this case, I forgot to mention, but the idea is that we are building social media assistant that, given some topics, it will help me to craft some content, some social media content like LinkedIn posts or X posts. But yeah, so the idea is that with this web UI, you can start interacting with your agent and you can test it. As I said, each interaction that you have with the agent is tracked. So this web UI comes with a pretty cool tracing UI that essentially tells you what is happening behind the scene while the agent is trying to process the request that you send to it. So you can double click on the LLM call in this case, and here the tracing provides you a very detailed description of the events in terms of tokens that it consume, the invocation and everything. And then you can dive into the single request as well as the response that the agent generates. And in this case, like the ADK web UI comes also with a graph that will tells you give you an overall picture of the all of the components of the agent. So in this case, it's a single agent system. It doesn't have tool, so that's why you just have this simple representation. But we will see later when I will add a tool how this representation change. Another thing that I want to highlight is that I already said that everything is tracked in a session, and this and having this kind of interaction stored in the session will allows us also to use this web UI to evaluate the agents. So imagine this loop where you start interacting with your agent and it generates some response. But for example, this response is not something that is not the response that you expect. So or you have multiple interaction with the agents, and you notice that several of them they are not fully correct, and you want to trying to evaluate, trying to associate a measure of how the agent is far compared to your expectation. So in order to do that in agent with ADK and this web UI, you can just create an evaluation set, and then in the evaluation set, you can store the current conversation, which will contain all the interaction that you have with the agent. Then you can select the case, and what you can do is you can also modify the case with respect to the response that you expect to receive. So in this case, like we are okay with that. We are not gonna modify it, but it gives you an idea of all the capabilities that you have with this web UI in order to define what is your golden data set to evaluate the agent. Once you have done this, all you need to do is just running the evaluation job. As you can see, if you have tool, the web UI will allows you to set the tool trajectories metrics, and also we have a metrics on the to evaluate the response. So I'm not going to spend time on the meaning of these metrics, but essentially they give you an idea. Using this metric, you can get an idea of how the agent is good to call in tools or in generating the response that you expect. So once you set this parameter, you just submit an evaluation job, and behind the scene, what will happen is that we will run some evaluation. So it calculates some metrics, the one that I was showing you, and it will tell you if the agent is good or not, and how is good or not. So in this case, like because we set different parameters in the evaluation, it's telling you that this is the actual response, but this is what actually the agent should produce. So that's why in this case, the agent failed in this evaluation test, and maybe from here, what you can do is just going back, maybe defining a little bit better the instruction that you pass to the agent in order to get a better response. So this gives you an idea of how, like with this web UI, after you define the agent, you can just interacting with it, debugging it, and improving it. So with that being said, as I just mentioned, we define a very simple agent, right? So what I want to do now is going back on our agent and showing you how we can, in the same simple way, we can just enable the agent with some tool. So let's go here, and imagine now that, as I said, this agent is just interacting with the LLM, and we want that now the agent get some, for example, hot topic from the agent development kit subreddit, and use this topic to provide you some suggestion on the content of the social media content that you may want to produce in order to address, some particular request or some post that the community out there is discussing about related to, in this case, ADK. So as if mentioned in the presentation, ADK comes with a very nice integration with the MCP. So, and in this case, in this scenario, we are going to use MCP as a client of a Reddit server that we pre-deployed before to running this demo. So deploying an MCP server on Google Cloud, it will take time. I already did it, but once you get deployed it, The only thing that you need to do is just initiating this MCP toolset, which is a nice class that will allow the agent to get access to the tool that the server exposed on a particular endpoint, and just use it with your agent. So in this case, once you initiate this class, you integrate these tools in your agent, as shown here. And all you need to do is just running again our ADK web, as we did before. And in this case, you will see that we will get an agent that is capable of interacting with the subreddit. Let's select this new agent. Again, same experience as before, except that now I will start interacting with the agents as I did before. And now let's assume it will generate some response. And let's assume that we want to get some hot topic related to, agent development kit on its associated subreddit. So as you notice, it takes some, it was a little bit slower just because in the behind the scene, we were spinning up, all the requirements that ADK necessitates to interact with the MCP server. But apart from that, now the agent is ready to go and check on the ADK subreddit, for example, what are the hot topics. So let's ask that. Tell me about the hot topics on our agent development kit. So as you can see, in this case, is using one of the tools that the Reddit server comes with. So the hot topic one, so it's using the right one. And as today, these are the hot topic that people they are discussing in the agent development kit subreddit. So compared to before, again, you can click on the single action that the agent take. And as you can see in this case, the chart that the representation that I was giving you before, it's a little bit more complex because it shows you how the agent interact, in this case, receive the response from the tool. But again, you can use this web UI to check all the steps that the agent take when it interacts with the tool itself. So with that, now we got a pretty cool agent, I would say, that will allows you to interact with Reddit, collect this information, and then you can keep iterating and create your social media content according to these results that we get. But this agent is still running on our local laptop, right? So let's assume that you keep iterating, you keep experimenting, and then you add some new tools to the agent, and at the end of the day, you are happy, and now you want to make these agents available in to many other users. So in order to do that, Agent Builder comes with the Vertex AI agent engine, which is, as Asif already mentioned, this managed platform that will allows you to essentially take your agent from your local laptop and scale it using cloud resources, and then open them to new users. So how you can do that? Actually, it's pretty simple. So now we are back to our local agent. So this is the agent that we just tested. Now we want to take this agent and scale it, deploy it on cloud so everyone can access to it. How you can do that with the Vertex AI agent engine? So essentially, you need to do two things. First, you need to take the agent and wrap it in the ADK app. In this case, it's an ADK agent, and the agent engine, the library that we release in the Vertex AI Python SDK, it comes with a predefined class that will allow you to take this agent and essentially convert in an application that will be able to run on agent engine. Now, it's not just about converting it in an application. This class is pretty powerful because it will allow you to enable a set of services that are needed to your agents when you want to scale it. So for example, if you want to enable a short-term memory of your agent, with this class, you can just create what is called a session service. In this case, is a Vertex AI session service, and pass to this class. And so with this, your agent, it will be capable of tracking all the conversation that is having with the single users, as well as when you deploy your agent, you want to check you want to check, you want to have a view on the calls that the agent makes with respect to the LLM of the tools that is going to use, and how these calls are how these calls perform. So usually what you have to do is associate to your agent tracing services. But in this case, with Agent Engine, you have this native integration with a Cloud Trace on Google Cloud, which is services that is compatible with OpenTelemetry, open standard to trace your application like agents. And so with just enabling this flag, these capability comes for free, and you don't have to manage, you don't have to think about managing it. So this is just give you an idea of how simple it is to not only deploy the agent with the agent engine, but also enabling services that are relevant when you operationalize an agent. So once you wrap your agent, the only thing that you need to do is writing a simple script that take this agent and create an endpoint on agent engine. And so here you can see how to do that. So the agent engine library comes with these create methods that will allows you to pass some information, including the requirements that the agent needs in order to run, as well as extra package that the agents requires. So they are needed for the agent to operate as expected. So again, once you wrap the agent and you have this script to deploy, you are pretty much you are ready to go. So let's use this script to deploy our agent. So let's go in the deploy folder, simple, and then let's do uv run 01 deploy the agent. So what is happening behind the scene once you run this script is essentially like we are packaging the agent for you in order to be able to deploy it on Agent Engine. And this process is not out of the like a black box process. In fact, all you can do is following this deployment process. So, and in this UI, all you will see is essentially all the steps that we are taking in order to package your agent and create the image that is needed to deploy it. So in this case, as you can see, is pulling the image that we are going to use, and then I will start building the container with your application, and this process keep going till the agent gets deployed. And how do you see the agent that gets deployed? Well, essentially, you can go directly in the Vertex AI agent engine UI. And here you will see a new entry with the agent that you just deployed. So in this case, I already deployed several agents, and you can see how all of them are registered with a description, some information about the framework. And if we open one of these agents, here you will see, first of all, some of the out of the box metrics the agent engine provides you in order to monitor the performance of your agent. So in this case, you have query per second, as well the query latency that are associated to your agent. So with these metrics, you can identify some anomalies in the performance and checking for some reliability issue. And also important is that for people that are looking to have an idea of how much is costing running this agent on Agent Engine, here you have some CPU and memory allocation metrics that you can use in order to calculate the cost of running this agent on the Agent Engine. Another important thing that I want to mention is that when we deploy the agent, we enable two things: sessions. So in this case, here you will see the single session that single users they are having with your agent. And these sessions are very important because they will store all the interaction that the user is having with your agent. And for example, you will use this interaction with another services that comes for free on Agent Engine, which is Vertex AI Memory Bank, to associate long-term memory to your agent and personalize them based on the user that is going to interact with the agent itself. So session is another services that come for free that we enable when we deploy the agent. But if you remember, we also enable tracing. So how do I get my How do I get the tracing of the agent? I can just type Cloud Trace and go to the Tracing Explorer. And in this case, you will see, all the interaction that the agent is having with the LLM and the tool. In this case, I just picked the interaction that the agent has with the MCP server, the Reddit one that we deployed. And so here you have all the information on how long it takes to generate a response. I mean, all these aspects are again covered, and they're easy to enable thanks to the agent engine interface that we provide. So with that being said, to conclude this demo, let's give it a try to the agent that we are deploying. So as I mentioned, deploying an agent takes some time. I already deployed some of the agent that you saw in the agent engine UI. So I will just try one of them. And to do that, you just need a very simple script that will essentially allows you to get the agent, eventually create a remote session, and passing some query to the agent. So this is an example of the script that you may want to use. So let's run this script then. Run 01 query. Let me see if I am in the right folder. I'm not. So I go here, deploy. The folder is deploy simple agent. Yes. And then I do UV run 01 query. So as you can see, running this script, it will connect with the remote agent and will start interacting with it. So your user message is hello, how are you? And then the agent generates a response, what I'm capable of doing. And this is what the agent tells me about its capabilities. So yeah, with that, this is ends our demo. The goal of this session, it was essentially giving you an idea of how this integration between ADK, MCP, Agent Engine, and Gateway that we are building, it will allows you to not only build your agent, experimenting with them, but scaling them on cloud and giving them access to your users. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session, and thank you again for watching.